Good morning, welcome to day 2 of my Stitchmas Vlogmas. Hang on, bear with me one moment, hang on. Sorry about that. I could feel a bit of a lump in my trousers underneath my thigh, my back of my thigh, and I just thought I can't sit here and feeling that, and I've gone down in there and it's a clump of hair. It must have come out of my hairbrush. Oh, that was gross. Anyway, right, so I'm going to open my advent calendars. I haven't got a huge amount of time. It's 10 o'clock in the morning and I'm going ice skating. That's why I'm dressed like this morning, a bit glitzy. I haven't got the glitzy trousers on, I've just got the normal trousers on. So yeah, I might take you ice skating with me. Like, I must admit, I have taken the tripod skating before and I've never been brave enough to get it out. And then the one time I really psyched myself up for getting the tripod out while I went skating, there was a girl there that I've had a bit of an issue with, and she makes me feel really uncomfortable, and she's not normally there very often when I'm skating, and it just happened to be the day I felt really brave to get the tripod out. She was there and I thought, oh no, I don't want to get it, because I'm of a certain age where I still find selfies a bit like cringy. I know that obviously younger people, it's all selfie, but I'm not quite there yet, kind of thing. So I might try and take something to film. But however, because they've got dancing on ice people at the moment training, and they've got film crews in there anyway, if I try and film anything, they might say no anyway, so I'll just see what happens. Right, I'll take you along, I'll see what happens. So anyway, so I'm going to open my calendars, and I thought you'd like to know that you will have seen an intro if all went well and good, and you'll have seen my husband's advent calendar. I have done my own one, the handmade one I made for him, and I am filling that anyway. All my family got a chocolate sprout off me this morning, and I actually had one myself. Here's the remnants of it. But my husband's also got a friend's one which I got for him, and I thought you'd like to see what he got in it. So yesterday he got this little tiny, it's a rubber eraser, but it's a Central Perk cup, and I thought that's quite cute, isn't it? And today he's got a magnet that I guess you put on your fridge, and it's like that thing that goes on the door in Rachel and Monica's apartment, and I suppose you can put a photograph in the middle of it. So that's been quite fun, but that's why I've done him like my own personal one as well, because I didn't know how good the gifts are going to be in the friends one, and I thought he might miss all like the edible things that I put in his calendar. Also, I've had some things delivered. Now I've got some gifts that I want to make for Christmas. I don't think anybody watches my channel. Well, the one person doesn't even use social media, so they definitely wouldn't be watching my channel, and yeah, I don't think the other person does either anyway. However, I got these, were quite inexpensive, and I got them from Etsy, and I think they were quite a local seller, and they're yoga type little charms. There's got like a little person sitting in a cross-legged position, and then this one's the same, but it's got the lotus flower. It's like a bit of a yoga symbol. So I've got those, and to go with these, basically, so Hayley Jane, I think she had a Black Friday sale, so I purchased these fabrics. So I'll show you these, and they are these. Now these have been in her previous subscription boxes, but look, they're yoga inspired. Now the people that I'm making these for do yoga, right? So I might even make one for myself, but I got 2 packs of these, because you just can do a hell of a lot more with 2 packs of fat quarters than you can with one. So do you know, if you wanted to make something with a back and a front, you've got a whole 2 pieces then, haven't you? So yeah, that's some little bit of sewing I hope to get done before Christmas. And also last night I did tidy up this desk, and I got my Christmas reds out. So I've put the dark reds back in the basket. These were all the very dark reds, and the more redder reds, they didn't look as dark actually on camera then. These are my brighter reds here, look. So I just wanted to see what I've managed to build up over time. I think for my Christmas Carol quilt, I've got to go with the redder reds from what I remember. I'm sure the thread that I used was more of a bright red, so I don't think the dark red's going to go, but maybe a bit of mix and match, I'm not entirely sure. But I wanted to get them out so I can kind of see what I need, and I thought about making the star Christmas tree. Now I'll show you what the pattern piece looks like. There's a small version there, so obviously I'm gonna have to trace these if I'm going to do it, because I can't cut them out because there's all individuals, and this is the big one. Now I'm thinking, as lovely as the big one would be, I think it's going to take a hell of a lot of fabric, isn't it? So maybe I'll make the small one, but I don't know whether to cut out my star pieces first. Then I know what's left will go with my Christmas Carol quilt. Now, if you haven't been watching me very long, you're not going to know what my Christmas Carol quilt is. I basically, probably not this year, last year, I stitched up all these Christmas Carol hand stitched. They're all Christmas Carol themed stitcheries, and they're all white fabric with red stitching, bright red, and there's all patchwork and stuff I can do in between, and I just haven't got round to doing it. So yeah, I thought maybe if I clear my desk, get my reds out, get my pattern out, it might make me feel a bit inspired to crack on and do a little bit of sewing when I get a bit of time to get in here. Anyway, right, looking at the time, I'm going to open my advent calendars. So what shall I open first? Now I'll open the hemline one. It's funny actually, if you watch my Vlogmas yesterday, you'll have seen I took a was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. I showed you a little bit of snippet in the co-op, and then I showed you my basket on the floor. Well, there's a person standing in front of me, right? And the person standing in front of me, I actually know her. I didn't realise who it was at the time, but I ended up speaking to her, and she has actually got this calendar this year because I recommended it to her. So that was quite funny, and I actually told her that that was on the last day of November, so I actually told her I'd open my calendar, and I didn't tell her what it is, but I told her how much it was worth. So because I know she likes to tot things up and see how much is it worth, so she might not have to tot it up this time because the prices might be on it. So here's the calendar that I won. So I'm going to find day 2. It was easy to find. It was right by where number 1 was yesterday. So I don't know whether I should be popping these boxes back in actually, but I suppose if I leave them out, it will make it a little bit easier, won't it, when I'm trying to find the other doors if I've took all the others out. So in this one, I've got some Dressmakers pins. Do you know these kind? So they're handy to have. Now, I do keep these kind of pins. Let me find it. Now, this is something that someone made for me when I was in a I was in a quilting guild in America. It was like all online. This was years ago, and we had swap partners, and this was made for me. But I keep all my Dressmakers pins in the back of this, so no doubt I can add to this if you know, they're always handy to have, aren't they? They're nice and flat. You don't always want the bulbous tops on pins, do you? So that's very useful to have. Right, so that's my one that I won from little so-and-so. And this is the, shall I open mine? All right, I'll open the one I made for myself first. Day 2. Oh, right. Now, this is something I've definitely wrapped up myself because I've used those stickers. They say craft night on them and they've got a ball of yarn and a crochet hook. I don't know what it is because I've wrapped them up previous. So, now I do remember purchasing this. It's a pin badge and it's an enamel pin and it says me made. But unfortunately, I bought this so long ago, I can't remember who I bought it from. But it's lovely, isn't it? Me made. So I thought that's a lovely pin. I do love like a craft pin. So yeah, that's really lovely. I remember, you know, I've had to be really harsh on myself with these things. I had to put, you know, sometimes things were turning up and I had to put them away from my calendar. But yeah, I bought that probably early in the year. So yeah, it's lovely to see that again. What's lovely is with my own calendar, I know I'm going to absolutely love everything because I bought everything, didn't I? But I'd obviously, you know, some days I'm just not going to know. Some days I can figure it out because they're more recent. And there's a few days there's nothing in there. So whether I'll end up getting anything for them yet, I don't know. So there might be some empty days, unfortunately. So what else did I show you on that video this morning? Oh, the first bit of video you saw this morning was a fire, a roaring fire, and that was in the Toby Carvery. My husband and I, we went out for a Toby Carvery yesterday. He said, oh, it's the 1st of December, let's go and have a carvery. All the boys were at school and college. Oh, excuse me, I've got hair on my face. School and college. And he came to the gym with me. Do you remember me saying I went to Pilates? Well, the Pilates teacher wasn't there. Somebody who started doing beginner yoga, she's a new yoga teacher, she did some yoga with us. So my husband came down to the gym, but he didn't come into the class. He does like Pilates, but I explained to him the Pilates teacher isn't there, it's a lady that does yoga. And what it is, my husband's foot is black at the moment because he went to a kickboxing class on Friday at the gym, and he had to kick the trainer who had pads, and my husband accidentally hit his elbow. He thinks he might have hit his elbow with his foot and then his other elbow with his leg, and my husband's foot is literally black and there's a bone right sticking out the top of it. I said he needs to go to hospital, but he's just not going. He's just kind of just carrying on. And he even came down to the gym with me yesterday, but he just stayed out on the gym floor and just did a few upper body things, didn't do anything with his feet. But yeah, I'm still trying to, you know, persuade him to go to the hospital. And you might have seen, and you'd have seen a little bit of footage of Buttons, one of my cats, on the windowsill in my bedroom. And if you were looking very carefully, you might have seen another little cat face pop up over the sill. And that has actually, it probably looks like my Bella cat. So if you've seen one of my other cats, it isn't. It's actually my next door neighbour's cat. I was peeking in the window. I thought that was quite funny. But the pets have got advent calendars as well, so maybe I'll show a little bit of footage of doing the calendars with the pets as well, if you're interested. So, and actually I haven't done the dog one yet. I didn't open yesterday because I'd opened my calendar a day early. I just thought, oh, the calendars are done, and I was forgetting about the pet ones. So, let's find day 2. If this takes a while to find, I'll have to cut a bit out. So, does that look like a 2 to you? I think so. I think it's a number 2. And in this one, I've got some thread for my, which you can actually use on your sewing machine, obviously, because it's on a spool. But that's really useful, isn't it? I wonder if it tells you what it is. It tells you it's metal. Oh, right, lovely. And how many? It's 100% polyester. and it's 100 metres or 109 yards. Yeah, and it's metal, so that's really good. We've been given some really good quality thread in that, haven't we? So yeah, I really like metal threads. I've got metal embroidery threads, not regular sewing thread. But yeah, that's really great. So thank you, Crafty So-and-so. Thank you to Little Miss So-and-so again for my winning calendar. And yeah, and I'm delighted what I bought for myself as well. Because this was the initial plan. I wasn't going to buy any advent calendars this year. I was just going to do my own. But I caved with the Crafty So-and-so, and obviously I ended up winning one. So yeah, that's all exciting, isn't it? So yeah, so I'm going to go now because I've got to go ice skating. And yeah, you probably see a few little bits and bobs from today. What you're going to see yet, I don't know, but yeah, I'll try and include as much as I can to make it as interesting as possible. So I might pop back later to say, oh, do you know what? I finished something last night. Right, what time is it? Right, wait there. I'm going to get it. Bear with me. Right, I'm back. Ta-da! It's my poinsettia, and I'm not quite sure if I should be bending the leaves that way, like down. I'm going to have to do a little bit of research on poinsettias and what they're like. I have done a little bit of research about the actual flower, because I thought, why are they a Christmas flower? You know, what is it about them? However, I found out a little bit. It actually is a religious thing. The red is to symbolise the blood of Christ, and the shape was meant to represent the Bethlehem star. So yeah, I didn't know it was a religious thing. And apparently it's not because like they grow this time of year. I think they're like a tropical kind of plant. But they look very like, this thing looks very Japanese looking if you have a look. He's got a little face and he's got little arms. The arms were the last thing that I crocheted last night. So you start with the legs, you work up the body and get in the head, then you make the flower and then the little arms. Now there's two other little creatures in this package that it was a kit from Germany, but they're a lot simpler to make. The other one is basically one of these and he's got like an elf hat on, and the other one he looks like a Christmas bauble, but obviously this was a lot more complicated, doing all these petals and things. So he's lovely. So I'd love to get a little glass like pot to put him in, so it's like a little flower decoration, but then if you look at the side you can see his little face. So yeah, that's been really enjoyable to make. Obviously it was a little bit time consuming, it come together quite quick, but then obviously doing all the petals were a bit time consuming, and once I'd made one or two of them, I could cope with the distraction of my family, so I didn't need to make them in the day. I've done them in the evening with the family around and the telly on and everything. And actually, yesterday daytime I cast on for another Christmas pudding, and I did that in the day because I have to cast on 48 stitches and I don't want to get distracted casting on 48 stitches. So I just cast on in the day, knitted one row. So then on the evening I carried on with this, and then when I finished it I actually knitted a good bit of another Christmas pudding cover, a Christmas pudding terry stock orange cover, just up to where I've got to do the colour work. And then it just was really late and I thought, no, I've done enough tonight, I just want to sit and chill out. So yeah, and I just watched a thing called Universe with Brian Cox. It was the second one of it, so that was nice. But in the evenings we've been watching low budget. We didn't last night, and one night, and because my husband had football on as well last night, because he supports Liverpool. The other nights we've been watching those low budget Christmas movies, like what you get on Channel 5, but these were on Movies 24. So the one we watched the other evening, basically, it's one I've watched before. It's about rival Christmas tree farms, the Spruce family and the Pine family, and they're, rivals, but then they're the younger ones from the rival families fall in love kind of thing. I've seen it before, but yeah. But yeah, even my husband's got into them a bit now. He says, "Have you got any, your Christmas movies on?" So yeah, they're nice and chilled out. Just sometimes in the evening. If you don't want something too intense and you're at the edge of your seat, sometimes those kind of things on TV are great, but they can be exhausting, can't they? Sometimes those are quite nice and chilled. My husband wants to do a bit of mobile gaming. I want to do a bit of crocheting. It's just nice and chilled out. So anyway, I'm going to go. Maybe I'll pop back in front of the camera later. I don't know. But even if you don't see me, you'll see bits of footage from throughout the day, and then I'll be back tomorrow with day 3. So I'll see you in a bit.